Peach! Peach, come here. Peach! Hi, Peach! Down, Peach! Down, Peach! Down, Peach! Down, Peach! Oh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Who's a good girl? Okay? Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our show, Discovering Laguna Woods Village. I'm Cyndee Whitney, and today we're going to be discovering things from a very different perspective. We're going to be a little lower to the ground. We're here at the Laguna Woods Dog Park, and we're going to be meeting with some wonderful dogs and some wonderful dog owners, and we're going to find out why everybody thinks that this is a very important space in our village. This is Peach. This is Peach. Who's a good girl? You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are a good girl. Yes, you are a good girl. And Tara. Come with us, won't you? So now we're speaking with Barbara Sanchez and Charlie Prater, and we want to get a little bit of information about why they come here to the dog park. Barbara, let me ask you, you said that you have been to other dog parks that you have, for years, and not just this one, but others in other cities. Tell me a little bit about how you feel about this dog park.
I formerly was a resident in Anaheim Hills, and I used to go to the Orange Dog Park, which was really huge. And then when I moved here about 15 years ago, I started coming to this dog park. I also went to the one in Laguna Beach, and that was before they had fences up, and my dog went up into the woods, and it took me hours to get him back down. He didn't come when I called him. But in this dog park, it was a good size. And I made a lot of friends with people here. I kind of got to know the same group that was here every morning. And I would come twice a day at the other dog park, and would come here, and I've been coming about 3 or 4 times a week recently. I just love it. My dog loved it. I mean, he'd start crying, then we came around the corner hopping in the back seat,
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, and I'll ask you both. Do your dogs know when, that dog park thing is coming up? It's like we're getting in the car. Do you have like a word? Did you have a word?
We don't say park.
No. Did you have to spell it?
But I would put him in the car, and he'd be calm until we came to the corner. The minute I turned that corner, he'd be up with his paws on the back seat and whimpering and jumping. And if I drove past, because we were headed someplace else, then he'd just go back and lie down in his bed like, bummer.
Oh, utter disappointment. Now, you said you made friends here. Did your dog make friends here too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes. The people I came with would all come at a certain time of day. Like there was a group that came about 9:30 every morning, and there's about 8 of us, and we'd catch up on social things and catch up on the dogs, and we all knew each other's dogs, and they played well together, so it worked out well.
Nice, isn't that nice? And you told me that you actually gained some lifelong friends.
Yes, especially some people I met when I first came back at the other park. I met some ladies, and we currently play cards together Friday night. There's a group of us, and we all met because of our dogs and because we came to the dog park.
That's amazing.
The first people I met in Laguna Woods, actually, were people from the dog park.
Is that right? Boy, that's great. Yeah, dog people are a little different, aren't they?
Oh, yes. And we had, we started out with a common thing to talk about.
Yes.
And we had common experiences. We'd laugh about what someone's dog had done that day, or how they behaved, or didn't behave.
Didn't behave. So, Charlie, I want to ask you, how many dogs do you have?
Well, I have 2 dogs. I have a very small Yorkie, and then I have pretty much a medium-sized Yorkie Terrier mix. So one weighs like less than 8 pounds, and one weighs almost 30.
And what are their ages?
The Yorkie's 14, and the Yorkie mixed Terrier is 4.
Oh,
so 4 and 14, and they just work each other, and I think the younger one keeps the older one going. That's for sure.
Yes.
That and getting them out for walks and coming to the dog parks.
Yes. So how long have you been coming to this park?
Oh, probably I want to say maybe 4 years. Could be since I moved in here. So I got active in it and coming down here. It's a place for paws, but it's also a place for people to meet. And, there are some people here in the village that really this is their only outlet to get out and see people because they have dogs, so they will come over here. You can't let your dogs out in the village for just walking around, so they come here and they can just do their dog thing, and the dogs love it, and the people love it.
In the village, it's not safe for one thing, and also it's not safe for dogs, and it's not safe for people because some people are anxious if they see a dog off a leash. They don't know, and so to come here, the dogs get to run freely and to play that way.
That's correct. Yeah, and they love it. They get along so well. It's like something turns the dog into automatic. This is my fun place.
They seem to know that this is okay, and even if there's a large dog and a small dog, I think they respect each other. I think they understand to play, but not to play too rough.
Oh, exactly. They know, it's sort of like they know the limits.
Yes.
Because they'll sit there and you'll see them actually playing and rolling around a couple times. You're going, oh no, but they're going, hey, leave us alone. We're having fun.
That's right. We're dogs.
We're dogs.
Yeah, right.
We're dogs. We're doing our dog thing.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think it's good to get to know the people because, you talk and you say, is your dog okay? Is this all right? Because they'll get into scuffles or whatever they're doing. Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yes. Well, that's true. The owners will, calm you down and say, no, they're good.
If the dog is getting a little frisky, they'll say, stop and bring them over and maybe leash them even if they need to.
Dog manners.
But, the other thing about in the woods is that a lot of people really don't have the mobility to walk their dog for a half an hour of exercise, but they can come here and park and come in and relax and watch their dog, and their dog can play for half hour, an hour, hour and a half.
Can somebody who isn't, I don't have a dog presently, I did, but I don't have one now. Can I come here?
Oh, that's what's nice. That's what's nice about what they've done here. They provide the property with the city. It's cooperation. Everybody got together. And yes, a lot of people come from the outside because this has got entrance without a pass, in other words.
Right.
So they can come here, and I know a lot of people from the outside that bring their dogs over here.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great. Well, I noticed coming in, it's very secure. You have 2 gates that lock so that no dog can, accidentally run out if they see, their ball, chasing the ball or whatever. And they can't get out into the street, which is a busy street. So that's great. So it's very, very safe.
Right. It is very safe. And that's the reason for the gating like this. So you can bring your dog in a leash into the first gate, go to the second gate and let them go without anybody getting interfered or worried about dogs running out.
And sometimes people will come in without a dog, just by themselves, just a person. They'll come in and they'll want information, like who do you take your dog for grooming and, who's your vet and how's this dog park and, I'm going to bring my dog next week. They're just checking things out.
Right. I'm sure you share stories of the funny thing my dog did yesterday, kind of stories, but also if a dog maybe is acting a little bit lethargic or something, you all have a home remedy or something like that. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does. When you'll see dogs, if they're having an eye problem, and you say, this is what I'm using, it works fine. Or if you need a vet, this is my vet who lives or is located here. So sharing information of that kind of stuff definitely works.
I've had 8 different dogs over the course of 40 years. And so, you learn about dogs. And so if someone's new with a dog or it's something they haven't experienced, chances are there's someone here at the park who knows something about it or says, oh, that's not, don't mess with that, take it to the vet.
Some of it is daunting. I had a dog, a Shih Tzu, and she had a skin problem that was just so difficult to treat. And so sometimes it is daunting when your dog has something that just seems that it's unsolvable. So it's good to have the camaraderie of other dog owners to help you solve that problem. Yeah.
It is a part of the community, inside and out, like we said, but sharing information, getting to know the people. And like I said, you'll have your morning group, your afternoon group, and even your evening group. So it's sort of fun. Once in a while you make them say, oh, I'm going to go there in the morning. Meet the people and get their input into how many people are coming over here.
There's people who come from all over. They come from Mission Viejo, and I know a man who lives on Lake Mission Viejo. He's very active in the Rough organization down in Laguna, and he comes here all the time with his dogs.
Well, isn't that nice? I think also you can come here if you're having a bad day. Your dog might like it too. But if you're having a bad day and you want to take, have a nice calm experience, you come over here and
it is. It's a place to relax and still be involved with people.
what would you say to somebody who's moved here to Laguna Woods and they're thinking about getting a dog? You know, I know a lot of the dogs here that come here are rescue dogs too. That's that's good. What would you say to them? Would you encourage them to get a dog and say that include this park as part of their decision?
It's almost an automatic thing. Okay, a person that says, hey, I'm going to get a dog, the first, depending on the age of the dog, if they're a rescue or whatever, and it's amazing because they can bring that dog here and the dog's going to fit in. It's not a, oh, you're too big or you're too small or you're too, you know. Dogs like dogs, and dogs love people, but but it's amazing how they adapt. They adapt better, and their attitudes get better, and they feel safer. So it's all around good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, they are kind of pack animals, aren't they? They like to be around other dogs. Yeah, they're not like cats. We're going to do cats the next time.
They love to be off leash. You know, that's just unique. In fact, they get along better when they're off leash. That's why people aren't supposed to have their dogs on leash when they come in. And a lot of people will come here and just kind of look around to see what kind of breed, and they'll ask people, where'd you go? We usually refer people to our dog club because there's resources there.
Well, I can't thank you enough for spending some time with us today in this beautiful setting. It's a sunny day, and there's a beautiful breeze, and there's dogs and nice people. I mean, it just is a perfect setting. So I really thank you for all the information that you're giving the Laguna Woods residents about the dog park so that we can be informed and make decisions to either get a dog or bring our current dogs down here and have some fun. Yeah, have some fun.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And now we're speaking with Ron Crowden, who is the president of the Dog Club in Laguna Woods. Now, Ron, thank you for letting us come into this wonderful park with you and Gracie Ann.
Yes.
Gracie Ann, and I would love to know some things about you. But first, I want to learn things about Gracie Ann because she's just absolutely adorable. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about Gracie Ann.
Well, I got her from the Irvine Animal Shelter, and I had a standard poodle, and I was 14 years old, passed away. So I was looking for another dog, and trying to find another dog to replace the standard poodle is pretty hard. So I was at the shelter and I saw her and we just clicked. Oh. You know, she was really a nice dog, and she's well behaved and housebroken and that. So it's nice, yeah. And
you said she's how old?
She'd be going on 6. Oh. Yeah.
She's a young lady.
Yeah.
And is she a little princess?
She is a little princess. Yeah, and I understand there were, if I'm not mistaken, there was a lady here in Laguna Woods that had her, and that's basically how I got her.
So this whole neighborhood and village is familiar to her, and maybe even the dog park.
Yeah.
Well, that's helpful. Well, Gracie, do you like playing with some of the big dogs? There's some big dogs here today. Do you like playing with them?
As long as they don't steal her ball.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, she's pretty possessive of that little ball. Yeah, and she's pretty fast with that, too.
Yes,
she's not going to talk to me today.
As far as her background is, they think she's part Pomeranian, and they don't know what the other part is. But when people see her, they think she's a small border collie.
I was just going to say that she's a border collie. I saw her herding that ball.
When we come to the dog park, as soon as we walk through the gate, first thing she does is look at me because I got the ball in my pocket. So she wants to play with the ball until she gets tired. Then she'll socialize with the other dogs. Yeah.
Well, this is just a game of catch that happens to take place in a dog park for her, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you walk her around your home too?
Yeah, she gets pretty good exercise because I take her out about 5 times a day. And I look at my phone. It has the counts amount of steps.
Yes.
Walking her probably uses about 3,000 steps a day, at least. Yeah. So pretty good exercise.
And I've seen her. She moves right along. This is not a slow-walking dog. So as president of the dog club, you're responsible for, keeping people aware of the things that the dog club provides and, information and so forth.
We try to keep people aware of all the activities in the city and in the village. And we work with animal control to ensure that everybody gets a dog license for their dog and has the proper inoculations, because it's under law. Dog must have a rabies shot.
Yes.
And then once a year, we have a dog license and vaccination day right over here at Clubhouse 1, which is kind of nice for the residents, they don't have to travel.
Yeah.
It's like a one-stop shop, and we have the animal control officers come in, they issue the license, and we have a vet come in and they give the necessary inoculations. And it's a good deal because you're not paying an office call, which a lot of the vets are $62, $72 a day just to bring your dog in, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So it works out well.
I honestly think that deters some people, unfortunately, sometimes, is that they can't afford a dog.
That's true. And, you know, the city's dog license is $48. If your dog is spayed or neutered, you get 50% off. So that brings it down to $24. And if you're a senior and you had to have an ID to prove that you're over 65, you get another 50% off. So you're talking about $12. So that's
the best.
That's a pretty good deal.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm really glad
Yeah.
that you're telling people that
Yeah.
now, because that's really important.
Yeah, and this is coming up in February of 2019. It's the first Thursday of February. We have this every year, dog license day. So
Yeah, and it connects that dog to you. Yes, absolutely. Now, I also see in the Globe that you have some events that are like a dog show.
Yes.
Is that part of your club?
that's part of our club. We have a dog show once a year. And then a lot of the people, of course, they bring their grandkids getting out of school in June. So it can be either the second, or third, or fourth week of June, but we always have a dog show, and it turns out great. And we usually have some pretty good guests come, too. You know, we've had the Los Angeles Police Department come with their K-9 unit. And we've had people that train dogs. So it's always something entertaining. And we usually get about 400 or 500 people.
Oh my, that's great! I'm going to watch for that this year, the next
Yes.
time you have one, because I know that they dress up, some of them, and they
That's
do
one of the
different.
contests.
What do they dress up as?
Well, you know, years ago we used to have one of the categories in our 5 categories was the cutest dog. And I think everybody in attendance got up in line and they thought their dog was the cutest. So,
Of course, that's like the cutest baby. You can't do that.
so we eliminated that one.
Good.
So now we have, the costume contest, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, I think you're the cutest dog, Gracie Ann. I don't know. Do we have to spell words around you like squirrel and
Yes.
ball and
OUT and all these things.
cookie and OUT? She's a very smart little girl.
I always tell her when we go out for a walk, I says, you're not a pointing hunter dog because she always chases squirrels up a tree and points them. He says, you're a lap dog.
Wow. Well, Ron, I thank you very much for sharing Gracie Ann with us today. She is just a doll. I love her, and she's just as cute as can be, and she's holding her own with some of these larger dogs here today, which I'm very impressed about.
We're always looking for members for the dog club because
Are
a lot
you?
of people don't even know we have a club that's existence here,
Right.
So our articles are always in the Globe. They're
You've
on
got a good website, too.
good website. We're on TV6. Yep. So and then we have flyers in every clubhouse rack. So hopefully everybody sees this.
Good to know. Yeah, and thank you for also for fighting for a dog park because we're learning about the many benefits to the dogs and to the dog owners of being in a dog park and spending time in a dog park.
Yeah. We think we have approximately, we're not for sure, but based on registration, close to 4,000 dogs in our city. So it's something we really need. It's a dog park, and it's working out very well, especially the new one.
Yes. And we're going to do an update on that.
Oh, that's
yes,
great.
Yep, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Ron,
Okay.
for talking with us
My
today. And
pleasure.
thank you, Gracie Ann. So now we're speaking with David Cohen, and David is in charge of the dog park, the committee that's working on the new dog park. So we're going to get some information about that park, as well as to find out a little bit about why David and Bo and Ollie enjoy coming here. Hi, David.
Hi, how you doing, Cyndee?
Good. Thank you. So tell us about Bo and Ollie.
Bo is an almost 11-year-old golden doodle, half golden retriever, half poodle. He's from a litter, and Ollie's an 8.5-year-old golden doodle as well, and she's a rescue.
My goodness, they look like they're from the same litter.
I know, they're very similar, but personality-wise, they're completely different. I think you saw that before, where one goes after the ball and the other goes after other dogs sometimes.
But they're both very nice. They're very gentle because they were here with a little Gracie Ann and another little dog Jack, and they were just as sweet as could be. They knew their size difference. It seemed like.
Oh yeah, they're very gentle, they're playful, and they're just really good companions.
Tell us a little bit about, you must like a dog park since you've taken on this advocacy role for the dog park. What do you like about a dog park?
I've said this a lot of times at a lot of meetings. It's called a place for paws, P-A-W-S. It's really a place for paws, P-A-U-S-E. But for me, it's more about the people than it is about the dogs. Okay, you know, Bo and Ollie will be happy wherever you take them. Okay, but people come here, they create relationships. There are people with disabilities who can't walk their dogs. There are people who have very old dogs who can't walk themselves who come here. And they create liaisons. If somebody is, and I come here quite often late in the day, if somebody is not here, they get phone calls as, are you okay? Do you need help? So it really is as much about the people in Laguna Village and even on the outside surrounding towns as it is about the dogs.
So it's also, it's not only the presence of someone here that you get to enjoy, but you sense their absence and you want to check up on them.
Absolutely. It's a caring atmosphere. If you come here late in the evening, and not late in the evening, late in the day, now the day is much shorter, obviously, yes. You'll see people sitting in a circle of chairs. And the same people, a few new ones every day, almost every day doing that. And it's become like a friend circle.
I think it's built in that dog people are caring people. I mean, they're caring for their animals, and by the way, their animals are caring for them. So it's a wonderful mutual relationship that you have with the dog.
You see big dogs like my dogs playing with smaller dogs, where you don't see that when they're on leashes. Okay?
What changes when the dog's off a leash?
Off the leash, they're not territorial anymore. Okay, and they're not very close to their masters. There's no sort of protective instinct. They just go off and do their own thing, and their masters go and do their own thing.
Oh, you're over there. I'm over here.
Yeah, as long as we can see you, that's fine. You know, yes, I'll go get your ball. Okay, now leave me alone. Okay. Yeah. Well, they're very content right now. I think they've all played out, and they're going to have their afternoon nap, which is great too. But it's a really nice. It's a shady area. It's nice and cool. It's really accessible for pretty much everybody in the village, and the surrounding community. I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, it's it's open to everybody. So people come from Laguna Niguel, from Lake Forest. You can see it's a very abbreviated park now. It's been cut in half. But it's really a community park. And it's also, I think, well, once we have the newer one, it's a selling point for Laguna Woods. I mean, there are, as we spoke about this, there are about 6,000 dogs in the village. Amazing. I mean, if we could have gotten all 6,000 dog owners together, we probably would have had a park that's going to be a couple of thousands, maybe 100,000 square feet as opposed to 10,000 square feet, but still. I do want people to have an update because this is this is affectionately called the old park, I think, the existing park, and there is going to be a new park. Could you talk a little bit about that? This is the old park. You can see the turf is extremely old. You can see the fencing, and you can see that we've had some accidents from the road on the fencing. About a year and a half ago or so, we had an issue where the city was wondering who owns the park, who owns the property, and it became it was found out that GRF, Golden Rain Foundation, and Third Mutual owned pieces of the park. And after negotiations, the part of the park that was owned by Third Mutual has been closed off. But Golden Rain Foundation also owned property down in the other direction, and they were nice enough to donate it to the city. And the city now is building a park diametrically opposite to where this one is. It's going to be about the same square footage, about 7,000 square feet. After it's gone through some issues lately, which we can discuss, but after it's built, the second phase is actually build a 1,700 square foot park for timid dogs. Okay, we in the community, in the village of Laguna Woods, and even outside the village, people who use the park have been donating to a founder's wall. We've collected already $8,000 of private donations. Hopefully that'll go up higher. And the project was moving along nicely until the city encountered some difficulties. Yes. So, but I think it's great that there was a compromise reached on, it wasn't able to be extended in one direction, but it was extended in another direction. So there's always these compromises that are happening. And I think that is a testament to your advocacy and the advocacy of the advisory team that's working with you to keep this in the forefront of people's thinking. So when would there be an expected, I know I don't want to put you on the spot, but when? Well, first of all, it was a team approach. It was a total team approach. We set up a core team with people with various expertises. We had real estate people who knew to find out who owns titles. We had attorneys. So it was really a collegial approach. And we took the tack that rather than make the city an adversary, let's make the city a colleague. And it worked really well. They stepped up to the plate on every occasion, and because they've had issues with the current contractor and now they have to go seek another contractor, the opening has been delayed to sometime early 2019.
That's good to know, and I hope that stays on track, and I'm sure that it will. It sounds like everybody's on the same page and moving it forward. But the thing is, nobody's without a park. That's the important thing, is that this one is going to stay in existence, and there'll be some overlap, I'm assuming, when that one goes in, so that no one is going to go without their dog park.
No, the city has made it very clear that this park will stay open until the new park is completely functional and open, and that's very comforting just to have that.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Tell me, what is the Founders Wall for? What is that?
It's people who want to donate. We always said that we in the village and even outside, we want to be part of the process and help the city out. And if, for example, we want improvements to be made, clearly we're going to have to contribute.
Yes.
Over the years for this park, the Village Dog Club has contributed thousands and thousands of dollars for the upkeep and improvement. So what's one way of doing it? To have a Founders Wall. And the Founders Wall involves private donors and it involves corporate donors.
Is it a real wall?
Actually, it's going to be a huge bronze plaque. Okay. On a big wall.
It's a founder's plaque.
It's a founder's plaque on a big wall.
Okay.
So nothing will be on that wall except that plaque.
Okay.
And technically, the collection date, or the end of the collection, was going to be October 31st, because the park was expected to be opening within a week or two. Once the park starts again, and construction starts again, we may reopen it. We have the advisory board we have a figure in mind that we'd like to get up to. So far, we've collected $8,000.
That's great. That's great. I think that's terrific. And I think that the more awareness that we can create for this wonderful place for paws, the more people are going to want to contribute to that. And because they see the wellness and the purpose and everything that it really creates for people and their pets to come in here. I think it's great.
We're going to be having open houses where vendors can come. For people who want to contribute in a different way, we're planning on having like little memorial tiles.
Yes.
For their dearly beloved departed pets. We're planning on having a program like that and to have it ongoing, constantly ongoing.
I think it's very important to recognize loss of a pet. I really do. It's something that really affects people, and so I think that to be sensitive to that is a really good thing.
And we're going to have some leashes. We're going to have all sorts of little things, all in an effort to have an ongoing process of collecting money that can be, and by the way, anything anybody gives is tax deductible.
That's
so, and to have this in a repository so that if the city needs something or if we want something.
Thank you, David, for really giving us an update on this. I know that a lot of people were interested in it, and to know that there's been just a little bit of a glitch or a little bit of a setback, but we're going to be right back on track for after the first of the year.
Yes.
And you're going to be continuing to go on to this day and other programming to give us updates on this, I would hope. Okay, good.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Well, hopefully we'll have you here when we have the grand opening.
Oh, I maybe I'll have another dog by then. We'll see. I'm very motivated now, but there's a grieving process that takes place, and I'm in that. And so, yeah, absolutely. And I would love to attend. And this is a really nice place to come, even if you don't have a dog. So this is great. I really appreciate your time today, and I thank you for bringing Ollie and Bo with you. They're amazing, and they're sound asleep. And
not for long.
Not for long. No, they're going to be up and at it again real soon. So thank you so much, David Cohen, and we look forward to hearing more about the dog park. Thank you so much.
I look forward to sharing that with you, and thank you too also as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us today as we spent some time lowering our stress levels and our blood pressure. We really do appreciate having a dedicated space such as this dog park where people can come, and it has such great value to both the dog owners and their furry friends. Be sure and watch us on Village Television on Wednesday mornings at 9:30, and don't forget to like us on YouTube and join us every time on Discovering Laguna Woods Village.